Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jen. Welcome to another episode of the FMA Dumpster Fire podcast. Today, a little bit something different. I got a really interesting guest for you today. His name is Chris. I traveled to a quick story. I traveled to Rochester to train with Tuhon Jack Latorre. By the way, who's an amazing instructor, amazing Tuhon in the Pekiti Tirsia system, Pekiti Tirsia International to be specific. And during that training session, he brought some of his students, and Chris was one of them, and we fought, and it was amazing, and it was great, and I learned a lot. Since then, I've got to know him a little bit better through social media. I'd like to introduce him to you now. So please welcome Chris. What's up, homie?
Hey, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
How are you doing today? I'm sorry. This was not planned, right?
No, but it's good. It's good to see you. It's funny you mentioned that sparring episode. That was actually my first time sparring somebody other than some light technical sparring with Tuhon Jack.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I was your first?
yep.
Sweet. Well, you did awesome, man. I think you even disarmed me in that exchange.
I think we both traded disarms pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, let's talk about this thing that you've started. It's
Yep.
Volpe's
Volpe's
training.
training. Yep.
What is it, real quick?
Short story. I hand make training weapons for martial artists. I Rather than using CNC machines and automated stuff, everything I'm doing is by hand. I'm hand grinding these on belt sanders, just like you would a live steel blade, using the same methods as a knife maker would use.
Let's have a quick look at some of this stuff because you actually gave me. So I
Oh no.
yeah, there's a story here too. So I bought this Schrade or Shrod. What is it? The Priscilla
Yep,
Bush,
straight Priscilla.
right? And
Yep.
this was
Made
30
by
bucks.
it was designed by Josh Wagner, bladesmith.
Yes, there it is.
Great guy.
Joshua What? Oh, he's a Filipino guy or a Filipino martial artist because he's got karambits in his logo. I'll show you guys that. That is dope. So I got this, and then Chris, man, I'm afraid to show it. I'm afraid to show it. But there is is it polymer? Is that the correct term that I'm using?
Yep, it's a high density polyethylene polymer.
There it is. Now mine is destroyed because I actually hacked it with some Prado blades and with the actual live blade version of it. Because I think these are, I don't know if this is something we should be mentioning, but these training blades are valid weapons in and of themselves, man. Like you do a great job in matching the weight of the actual blade. I'm not sure if you can do that for each and every one, right? But this one, and you've made improvements to the one that I have since,
Oh
right?
yeah, they're much better now.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is a weapon. It's we probably shouldn't say it is, but anything's a weapon, right? So Chris, talk to me about your process. How you wake up, you have to make these things, you want to make these things. How does that day start for you?
Well, it's I get my orders in. Right now, I'm running everything through Etsy. I have like over 70 catalog models, and I also do a lot of custom work. So if someone's picking something from the catalog, I keep a pattern handy for that model. Trace that on my material. I use a 3/4 inch thick polymer, which is thicker than most people are using for polymer trainers. That's why I get the better weight and the strength on that.
Yeah.
But it's cutting it out from the sheet stock. Then I'm getting onto the belt sanders. I'm grinding the blades down, doing the bevels. There's a lot of hand work with the Dremels and small tools, and it's carving it from scratch into the final product.
I mean, when
The nice thing is
and your
I
shop
get
is
to push
where?
into the Carenza now and then in the shop because I want to feel how it's moving. As I'm working it and creating it, you get a feel for the balance just by moving it around. So there's a lot of getting to wave things around in the garage and look ridiculous.
I think that's important, don't you? The fact that you are a Filipino martial artist and you understand what the demands are from the end user, and you're doing carenzas as you craft this. Like, it's a piece of art, man. You know, it's a functional piece of art, in my opinion. And you're going through this. Are you listening to music? Like, what is the
Oh yeah,
environment that you were?
I have
Is it
inspirational music.
calming, kind of, Celtic tribal music, or is it like what are you
Um,
listening to?
I'll listen to anything from Tool, Perfect Circle. I'll get I like some of the folk metal Viking music, Danheim, and Warthog. I mean, if you're going to be
Folk
making a
metal
Viking,
Viking music?
yeah, because I'll be making a lot of like Viking big, Viking axe trainers, bearded axes. I mean, if you're going to make it, you want to listen to the proper music when you're thinking about making something like that.
Man, your process is really cool. It seems like you're like layering meaning into like every bit of this, from the music to the carenza. You're really expressing a lot in these final products. Are you a hippie or an artist of some kind?
I don't know what I am. I'll tell you what, though, I am one of my biggest beliefs in like training in martial arts is that people learn best through play. And when I train in with Tuhon Jack, every time he shows us some techniques and he has his pair off, he'll then say struggle, and that's our cue to go work on what he gave us.
Wow, I
Um,
love
when
that.
I have a when I, prior to COVID, I was helping run a local training club, and when I would show the members of that a technique, and it's time for them to pair off, I would say go play. For me, I felt like to play is the best method of learning from children all the way to adults. So I actually had someone make a snarky remark on social media once that I'm a toy maker, that I'm just making toys. And he thought he was hurting my feelings, but he really didn't, because I was like, no, that's great. Yeah, the toys, because we're playing, we're learning by play. And part of my philosophy is that your trainers shouldn't just be, a flat piece of plastic or aluminum that is uninspiring. It should inspire you. It should give you a sense of this is my sword, this is my weapon. It should feel like the weapon. It can even go beyond that. I have people who make a lot of custom orders for things that probably don't resemble any actual weapon they have. But for them, they want that item to train with because it's inspiring to them. They get
They
to
get to
play
play
with
with
it.
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I make crazy weapons. I don't have anything completed I could pull out in front of you, but crazy war clubs that people want, and they don't resemble sometimes anything else that's out there. But people like them because by moving with these things, they're learning and teaching themselves about their body mechanics, motion, how a weapon works, and they're having fun. And they're transferring those skills to other things they use.
Yeah, that isn't that fun part really important. Matt, will you have this Igorot axe trainer? That is,
Fun.
oh my gosh. It's on the screen here, the Igorot axe trainer. It goes
Oh
for,
yeah,
by the way, these prices are populating for me in Canadian dollars, right? So
yeah.
it's
Etsy will
it's way
automatically.
it's way less in America dollars. Can you see that? Where's that? Yeah, right here. Right there, the Igorot trainer. That thing's a mean looking tool, bro. So yeah, back to this whole idea of, I like Tuhon Jack a lot as a human being. I love how he uses, now struggle, go struggle. I really love that, but I love how it inspired you to sort of create your own, and you go play. How do those things work? I mean, what do they mean when Tuhon Jack says struggle? What does he actually mean by that, do you think?
For me, it means, he's given us, it's like a math teacher gives you a bunch of numbers and says, go figure it out. He's giving us the techniques to do, but it takes time to work on them and sort them out and find out what they really mean. If I just repeat a drill I saw, that doesn't really translate to me dealing with an attacker who jumps out and swings a 2x4 at me. I don't go, wait, what drill is this? The internalized lesson has to come out. So to struggle is to take that drill and transmute it into something that would be instinctual when I need it the most.
I also think, I mean, that's awesome. As you were saying that, I was thinking, when you say, when you give someone permission to struggle, it gives them license to feel like it's okay to fail through it. It's okay to make mistakes, right?
Right.
And that's often a missing component in the representation, at least, of Filipino martial arts, because a lot of people put so much gravity, and sometimes rightfully so, that they kind of they have this expectation of perfection that's never really going to come. So when you say struggle, it's like, oh, okay, I am struggling through this, so it makes it feel okay. You feel that?
Yeah, because it is hard work, and it's definitely a struggle at times. For me, using the word play is just another way of saying the same thing. If you watch
Right.
kids play, I mean, they're role playing whenever they do. They play, the old cops and robbers like we did when we were kids, or play, whatever we're playing. We're taking on roles, we're acting out situations and scenarios, and we're learning from those. And that's how we get our social skills as adults. If we can't do that as adults now, well, we're staying in our own, childhood. For martial arts, the intent is to grow and become a, adult martial artist in that way, developmentally.
Now, you have some experience in the mental health field. Can you
Right.
talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, I just wrapped up a 25-year career working in mental health, going full time now with Volpes as my sole income.
Congratulations, man. That's a huge leap. Were you
And it's
like, oh my
scary.
God, can I do this? Can I do this? Is this
scary.
really happening?
Yeah. But yeah, in the mental health field, my main work was working in crisis intervention, which means when everything goes wrong and a person in our, within our services is lost their ability to cope and needs more help than they can give themselves, and maybe more help than the other people working with them can help them. I would usually be the person that would come into that situation to help de-escalate the situation verbally. If it goes beyond that and it's physical, then there would be, physical de-escalation, whether that's, physical restraints. I was certified through Cornell to train people in these verbal and physical de-escalation techniques. So a lot of my time has been supervising and teaching and training those skills to people. So
You have
jokingly,
to be.
people ask me, what do you do for a living? And I joke around, oh, I'm a full contact therapist.
That's a great way to look at it. You seem like a very compassionate person, which I would imagine is should be a requirement to do a job like that.
It should be. It really should be. At this point in my life, it's time for me to have some compassion for myself after 25 years of that. So Volpes is a great chance for me to launch into a new phase of life and have a period of rest.
Man, I'm getting all emotional, bro. That's showing compassion for yourself after 25 years of exercising compassion for others, and having this manifest through this multi-layered art form and making it your own. It's absolutely beautiful. I hope anyone who gets to watch this will have a look at your page and feel compelled, if not for you, if not to help out a good guy, but for them, because you make incredible material. Let's look at some of the comments here. We got Homeboy here, Iron Tree Kali. He's got 5 of your trainers now, and he prefers it over aluminum. Why, if we can speculate, why anyone would prefer a hard polymer trainer over aluminum? What might those reasons be?
For some people, I know like aluminum can often, there's some guys who make some great aluminum trainers.
Oh yeah.
Anytime, first of all, if anybody comes to me and says, hey, can you make me something aluminum? I let them know right away that's not my forte. And I send them to guys like Brian Rodriguez, who makes amazing art in aluminum for trainers. So I always shoot them over that way to Brian. Great guy. But one of the things for me is aluminum trainers. A lot of times with the impact trainer to trainer, you'll get the little nicks in there, and those nicks can be sharp. And next thing, you've turned your safety trainer into something that cuts your friend.
Yeah. Another thing that happens real quick with the aluminum trainers is if you're sparring with them with those fencing masks, these like micro little shards break off, and it can get really bad.
I've had it with just rattan spraying into my eyes before. So
yeah. So does the polymer not have that possibility, that property that it could potentially?
It doesn't. It doesn't spray particles like that. I mean, you tried to destroy one of my trainers, and you can see that. You know, structurally, it's sound as ever. I could actually throw that on the belt sander and probably tune it up and take any edges off of it. It's easily repairable. It's incredibly rugged.
Oh yeah.
It's a great medium. I went through and developing my products, went through testing with a lot of different materials. I tried polypropylene, which seems to be the most common polymer you'll see used in these things. I chose HDPE. It worked better for my methods. I found to be structurally stronger at longer lengths than the polypro.
Man, you did your research.
The density has weight to it, so you get that more realistic weight going on. I did a lot of destruction testing, taking 2x4s and just turning 2x4s into splinters using these things. Just beating the tar out of them. Anything I could.
That's cool. That's cool, man. And okay, those are legit reasons to go with polymer over aluminum. I still like aluminum. I'd like to give a shout out to Keen Edge Knives. They make great aluminum trainers. Of course, Brian Rodriguez. There's a lot out there, but man, I've not met anyone who makes a better polymer trainer than you. And plus, I love your process. I think as an artist myself, that matters, right? One of my criteria for live blades isn't it's practicality and all that stuff. I mean, that's part of it, but it's also my connection to the blade maker, because I'm not going to use this to stab a mother effer in the street. Hopefully not. So it's a piece of art, and I have that connection with you. That's why I called you. I was like, man, it came out of the blue. I literally called you like 15 minutes before we went on air, and I'm like, hey, you want to go on the show? But yeah, thanks for doing that. Let's address some of these comments together. We got James Pert. I freaking love my Spartan trainer he made. What the heck is a Spartan trainer?
I don't have one in front of me. The Cold Steel Spartan. I make a trainer to match that. I do a lot of. I can show you something similar. I had.
Let me expand the review
Steel
here.
Has the
Espada?
Large folding kukri they make.
Yeah. Okay, that's not the
this
Espada.
thing. It's just a beast. It's what's fun is being able to train with something that literally matches it in size and shape and feel. And that's kind of one of my fortes is trying to make trainers that'll match your live blade that you train with, so you can actually train with what you carry.
So what's that process? If somebody had a blade and they're like, what do they need to send you? How does this process work? Is there a waiting list at this moment for custom stuff?
Custom stuff is usually 2 to 3 weeks turnaround time.
Oh man, that's not going to last very long.
We'll see.
That's fast. That's
I'm
fast.
busting my butt. I'm hustling. I bought new machinery, a larger, faster belt sander. I'm honing my ability to produce faster. I've got a system down pat, but I can knock things out pretty quick.
Yeah, I was expecting a much longer waiting list for you. So I think if people are listening to this now, I don't think that is going to last a 2 to 3 week. Look at all your ratings, bro. Look at all. Do you even
all
have
5 stars?
Yeah. Wow. Have you had and how might you deal in terms of customer service if somebody's like, this is not what I was expecting? Holy crap! There's 16 pages of reviews.
Yeah, there's like 150 something, I think. All 5 stars.
All right. Well, what kind of all 5 stars? So you're like an undefeated fighter. You don't know what it's like to to lose yet. But how might you deal with with that? Like, what's your philosophy as far as customer service is concerned?
It's not tough. I mean, I don't have a standing policy that I've created. And I haven't had anybody say, "Hey, this sucks."
Hmm.
If they did, my first thing would be, "Well, what's wrong with it? How do we fix it? Let's make it better." I do a lot of talking with the customers, which is really cool. I get to meet people from all over the planet. I've shipped to every corner of the planet so far. I mean,
Really?
yeah, it's all over the place. I just sent some to Singapore and New Zealand.
Wow.
But I'm big into having customer feedback. I ask people for their feedback. If someone says to me, I made a wakizashi trainer for someone, and he gave me a few tips on it. Hey, there's a hot spot on the handle right over here, and cool. Thanks for the feedback. I can fix
What's a
that.
hot spot? What does that mean?
If there's a spot on the handle where it might actually like rub your hand, and you might feel like a
Okay.
little friction, that's an
Gotcha.
easy fix usually. But different people have thrown me different ideas. My customers are one of my greatest resources. The reason I have like a catalog of over 70 models and growing, I mean, by the end of the summer, there'll probably be 100 models, maybe more. All the custom orders I do, it's basically like a crowdsourced R&D department. People always
Oh,
have
hell
me
yeah.
do custom models, and if the custom model I think would be a good model to get out there for other people, I'll put it in the catalog. I'll save a pattern for it, put it out there. And if I think, I make the original as per the way the customer wants, but if I feel like it needs something different for other people, I'll change it, do what I need to do. Everything's evolving. Every model you
Right.
see is going through constant change. Some of the catalog has some outdated pictures, which I'm working on now that I'm full time and not doing the other job on top of this. I'm going
Hmm.
to be redesigning just about everything. With the new grinder, I can do things a lot differently. So some of that stuff on there is going to be all updated soon. Much more improved blades on the swords. The new
That's hey.
grinder.
Are you gonna get into creating sheaths for some of these? Because I'm looking at some of these and they're like, okay, I know this knife comes with a sheath, or is that you thinking about that at all, or is that a
Probably not with these. With polymer, one thing is I use 3/4 inch thick material, so that's much thicker than most knives.
yeah? I guess
I've
yeah,
thought
for
about.
sure.
I've done some Kydex sheath work. Um,
Okay.
that might be a thing I also do in the future. We'll see. I've done some for myself and for friends. Doing Kydex sheaths on polymer, it's a heat form thing, so that's probably not the best thing to be doing on top of polymer. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do sheaths or not.
Yeah, actually, now that you think about
Yeah.
it, yeah, it'd be like plastic on plastic rubbing. All right, bro, thank you very much for joining. Let's just address the rest of the commentary. Hey, if you guys have any questions for Chris and Volpe's, you have about 5 minutes to get them in. Otherwise, Chris, afterwards, I'll send you the link to this video on the YouTube channel, and please address them. Hopefully this has some benefit to you. If not, now, hopefully in the future to get to know a little bit about you and your process. So we have a question from Sammy here. What's the weight of the longsword? Heavy.
I just, yeah, I don't have that right in front of me, and my phone is being used for this video. If you go on my Etsy page, I just listed that longsword into the catalog as an official item, and all the specifications should be listed in there, including the weight. It was a pound and 5 point something ounces, I think it was.
Okay.
It handles nicely one or two handed.
And Tuhon Jack says, he aight. What a great instructor this guy is, huh?
He is.
Yeah, man. I'm glad he's exposing himself more. I don't know if that came out right, but he's
Yeah,
exposing himself. He's exposing himself more. He's a gem in Pekiti Tirsia.
he's a
Definitely.
teacher's teacher.
Yeah, and he's an actual school teacher.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is like the renaissance of smart people in FMA these days. That's not an insult, guys. I'm just saying. Who is this guy? Argent Brachi says, "Awesome, folks. Well done." Tuhon Jack says, "His verbal judo is top notch." What does that mean? Means you talk well.
My profession before this was talking very angry people down. So
Nah. Right on. And then aluminum Carenza polymer for contact.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. I can
Yep.
see that. Yeah. But then you do Carenzas with your polymers as well to get a feel for all that stuff. And then we got Mandala Rapagan saying, "Great man and an awesome designer. Love your work, man. Nothing but 5-star reviews. You're that's amazing. That's amazing. So,
I
hey,
probably
have
just
you?
jinxed myself with all this.
I know, right? It's like this internet philosophy. If somebody knows that if it's all thumbs up, someone's gonna hit thumbs down just to be that guy. So
I've had a few people, and that's I'm learning. I use those uh, self de-escalation tools that I use professionally before this to deal with that. There's always I think you talk about the crab bucket. There's not much. Most of the social media responses I get are pretty positive. But once in a while, there's someone who's got some crab bucket mentality. And the funniest thing is that when I've run into that, I've actually reached out to them privately and private messaged them, and they actually usually have ended up becoming friends and customers.
they're way nicer when the conversation is private.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it. So, Chris, before we sign off here, we're approaching our 30th minute. What's in store? What message do you have for your customers, and what message do you have for people who are in the process of becoming one?
I can say from my end, from the business, hang on. It's going to be a crazy ride. I'm going to be putting out a lot of crazy new stuff and a lot of new ideas. That's going to be fun. And like I said, it's crowdsourced. So if you've got ideas you want to see me make it, I'll do custom orders, and you're contributing to what's available for everybody else when you do that.
I did have a question. Sorry to interrupt. This always happens. Do you have like a most popular model, and do you carry a backlog of that? Like, if I ordered one, you're gonna ship it right away because you have it.
I don't have an inventory
Okay.
because everything I make is made to order.
Okay.
When people order something, I'm making it for you, which means nothing's coming off the shelf. When I make it for you, which means people can order and say, I like this sword, but I wish it was a little longer. I wish the handle was this way. That's not a problem. I'm going to make it that way for you. So it's a full custom shop. Every item
Wow.
is made full custom for the person, and I can tweak it, change it, whatever people want.
This is crazy, bro. Because the prices are beyond reasonable, and the turnaround time is ridiculously fast. So
It's hard work.
you spending a lot of hours in the shop, huh?
Well, I was working the full-time job and doing this full-time, which means I have a very loving and patient wife who supported me and been behind me in this whole thing and made it possible. She's also a Pekiti Tirsia practitioner, so she understands. And every time I make something cool, the first thing I have to do is, honey, you got to come out and try this thing out. It also means I have
Wow.
someone who has much smaller hands and shorter than me to try out this thing and making sure, it isn't only suitable for the 6-foot Viking.
What an enriched existence you live, bro. What a you must be expressing your gratitude every second of the day, because that's an amazing thing that you've got going.
I say
Yes.
I'm very grateful for it. It's a great household between an amazing wife, and I've got a shop manager who I had to get out of the garage because he's 100 pounds of pit bull mastiff that if he hears us talking on the phone, he wants to be part of the conversation, and he's got about 300 decibel bark that would drown out everything.
Right on. Well, hey, Chris, thank you very much for sharing your story with the community. I hope for the people watching this, check out Valpe's training on Etsy. Chris, thank you very much for your time, brother.
Thank you, Paula.
All right, guys, that's been another episode of the FMA Dumpster Fire podcast. I should probably schedule these. I should I should do that. Once I get a producer, that'll happen. Today happened completely out of the blue, and I'm happy it did. That was a very, very positive podcast. Got to do more of those, man, because there are so many things that to be addressed in the Filipino martial arts, but there are also so many things that deserve acknowledgement and recognition, and Chris being one of those people. So I hope to bring you more episodes like this. If you're interested, please message me. If you got a cool story or a product, I'd love to support you. If you have an online training store, whatever it is, if it's a cool story and you think that people want to hear it, get a hold of me. We'll put you on. And hopefully we can use the growth of this channel, which has been freaking crazy. So thank you guys very much if you've subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, smash up the likes, hit that notification bell. So at least in the meantime, you'll get notified of whenever I hop on here. For those of you who already have subscribed, thank you very much. I want to say that you are this community, and let's build it together. Keep me honest. If I want to be like Chris. I want this to be a custom shop where we all have input on the final product. So without saying much more, I just want to say thank you again, and we'll see you guys next time. All right.